Hi, friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Jasmine.
And happy December! We hope you guys had a lovely November. We're going to recap on everything that happened to us in November, which was a lovely, lovely month. Mm-hmm. But I am so happy to be here in December. I can't believe it's December already.
I know. The last month of 2024.
I know. So sad. This was a good year.
It was a
to
really
both
good
of
year.
us.
Yeah. We'll have to definitely do an extra recap.
Yes. This was a big year for both of us.
Yeah.
Actually, when I really think about it.
Yeah.
You got engaged. That was a big
Your
one.
graduation.
Yeah, the speech. That's it, but no, there's a lot of things in between. Yeah, like your didn't you change your job position this year too?
Yeah.
I got
your job.
3 jobs this year.
Mm-hmm. Her birthdays, which by the way, guys, it's Marilyn's birthday month officially. So December babies.
Countdown.
It is your time.
I know. All the Sages and Capricorns. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Anthony's birthday. It just passed. It was on Monday. So yeah, I can't believe he's 28 this year. Sounds like a grown-up age, but we still feel like children, which is weird. But
no, definitely. I think we're definitely getting in that weird stage of like we're not young, but we're not old either.
Right.
Yeah. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get married and have kids, maybe we'll finally feel like, oh yeah, I'm an adult now.
I'm an adult now.
But how have you been, Jasmine? What's your recap for the month?
Yeah, super good. Friends, this month has been filled with really fun things. I was able to go to a concert with Angel. We went to go see Rex Orange County, which is one of his favorite artists. And it was really nice to kind of experience his side of music because I don't really listen to him that much. It was a really beautiful concert. I really appreciated the art of it and what Angel was explaining to me. But really the biggest highlight of November, I guess I should say, I was able to go to Cancun. So I was in Cancun for a whole week. That was really fun. We went to go be a part of, be witnesses and everything of his sister, Angel's sister's, I should say, wedding, which was really fun. It was really nice to see another wedding, especially close in our lives. And then also, I'm not going to lie, envisioning myself in her shoes. So it was really, really fun in terms of like, yeah, just like as she was getting emotional walking down the aisle, like I was getting emotional for her, but then I was like getting extra emotional because I was thinking about how like myself, like picturing myself, how I'm going to be like that day and what I would do in her position. So yeah, it was really beautiful in like both those aspects of just in celebrating her and her or husband now, their relationship, and then also just taking the time to envision and savor that like that's going to be our moment in 260 something days.
Wow.
So yeah, really good. Cancun was beautiful. Really got some time to enjoy ourselves. Got some time to do some wedding planning. So it was really nice because we would like sneak off to the beach or go get lunch. And then we would just like sit down and start planning. Because I think coming back home, I realized how much of a go life is. And it's fine. I mean, that's kind of like the life I like anyways. But it was nice to just take a break and like focus on that. Like make that the primary to do every day. Like that was our like main to do task every day. Like take a 1 hour to 2 hours, sit down and really dive into what the batch is going to be like and who are we asking for our wedding court and what is the mother-son song that he wants and the father-daughter, like all these little details that like I think can get so caught up and like we don't have the time to think about. But yeah, I would say that was my main recap. Beautiful month, really full of gratitude and love and excited to see what December brings.
That sounds really peaceful, and I love that. And I think that it's totally natural for you to go to somebody else's wedding and envision yourself because it's going to happen in less than a year. So it's on your mind all the time. And even when you do get married and you're at your friends or family's wedding, you're going to remember your day. I think just a wedding is so, hopefully everybody gets to do it at least once in their life. Hopefully once in their life. And it's just, especially for women, so special.
Yes.
And so I wouldn't think anything, because sometimes people, you know, I don't know, make comments about weddings and stuff, but I know that for you it was all love, like, just enjoying the moment and loving everything about it, the reception and et cetera, et cetera. And there's so many personal things that a wedding can be, like live music, DJ, and it's so personal to the couple.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm excited for when you get married. I know it's going to be a nice, beautiful, big party. I mean, her engagement party was lovely, so I can't imagine the wedding.
I'm so excited, you guys. I really think that, like, I can already feel it. Like, that is truly the number one thing on my mind. Yeah. Like, it's just like the wedding. Yeah. Wedding and marriage. Yeah. Both.
Right.
Yeah.
But if she says wedding, don't think that that's the only thing that's important to her. Like, because we know marriage is important to you, children, foundation, God. We know all that stuff. But like wedding, because it's like a big, big day and it costs a lot of money. So.
Oh, yeah. It's racking up for sure.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but that's exciting.
For our listeners here, if anyone's like engaged or planning maybe to get engaged, one of my close friends, she had asked me, so Jazmine, like just an estimate, like how much money should me and my boyfriend start saving for a wedding?
Okay, that's a good
she was
question.
like, I just want to know like a number. And I was like, honestly, I'm like, I would say minimum 30K.
Okay. Damn.
And she was like, 30K? And I was like, yeah, sis, like it
costs that much.
It adds up, like all the little details.
Yeah.
So if you're listening or you're getting married or maybe are in the plans of getting married, that is my advice. Start saving now. Because it is like a minimum of 30K. Of course, there's ways to budget and make it less. But I would say if you want like a pretty nice wedding with 100 guests.
Oof. And that's a little
bit. Or even less. Yeah.
That's a little bit of guests.
30K.
Yeah.
Yep. So
interesting.
But how was your November, Marilyn?
Very good. I think the last episode we had talked, it was about in a time of preparation. And I will say that I think in November, I've truly came to love life again. And I know I was praying about that of just like, because I was so tired, so in the routine of things. But I think, I don't know what happened. It happened when daylight savings happened. But literally right after that day was Sunday. It happened Monday morning. I felt energized to go to work. I felt happy to go to work. I felt happy to teach my students. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I was a little worried that maybe this wasn't the right fit for me. But so in November, I had a realization like, no, I don't know what it was about the daylight savings time, but it gave me that boost of energy that I needed. And now here we are this week, and next week is the last weeks of the semester. So this comes out Wednesday. Like technically my students only have 2 more classes left, so time is flying by, and I truly do love my students, and they go through so much struggle, and like I love hearing their stories. And I just realized like it's a bigger picture, Marilyn. Like it's not, don't think of it just clocking in, clocking out. Yeah. Like no, you're impacting people's lives and they need you there. And there's, because I think learning a language is survival out here if you come from a different country. But anyway, so work has been good. And also Kendrick Lamar's album came out November 22nd. It's all I've been listening to, all I've been talking about, all I've been watching on YouTube is just all about the album, the beef, everything that's, and let me just say, I love Kendrick Lamar. I have loved him for a long time, but I've never been like vocal about loving him. I've always been vocal about loving like Ice Cube and stuff. And he came out the same day as Kendrick, which is crazy. But Kendrick came out of nowhere, and Ice Cube has been saying he was coming out that same day, and Wicked came out that day, and G Perico came out that day, and freaking J. Cole came out that day, but I don't really care about J. Cole. But there was a lot of things happening on November 22nd. But ever since then, my life has been changed. And throughout this month, I will talk about different things that I learned from the GNX album. If you haven't listened to it, take a listen. It's so beautiful. It has this beautiful mariachi singer's voice on there, where he heard her voice on Game 1 of the Dodgers World Series. And he heard her, asked her to be on the album. I think she's on 3 songs, and wow. Beautiful. I love how he mixed like Latino culture with Black culture, and it was just so beautifully done. And I feel like he's somebody, because his where he lives is close to where I live. And he feels like somebody that is like the people's champ. Like he feels like you to me. Like he feels like somebody I could be friends with, I could talk to. Like he's very relatable, and everything he says in the album is so beautiful, so well said, and I love it all. I love it. So as for Kendrick fans, we've been happy this year. This has been a really, really good year to be a Kendrick fan. And so November, he made November for me. That album is so good. Before recording, I was listening to the album. I think it was my third time repeating it. I asked for Christmas for the vinyl because I have like a record player, and the vinyls that I get, it has to be no skips. And so that's a no skip album. Very good. Yeah.
Dang. I mean, I'm looking at your wall right now. That means it must be super impactful for you. Yeah, because you have 12.
1, 2. Yeah, and one of them is hiding, but it was like a Christmas one. But yeah,
so
I don't have too many.
It has to be good. Like you got to really, meet really Marilyn's top tier to like make it to the wall. For sure.
And I will say I should have all of Ariana's albums. I only have one vinyl, but it's just because I just haven't collected them all. But Ariana, all her albums are good. All of them.
She's a queen.
Yours truly. I mean, I don't even have Thank You Next up there, but yeah, the last record I got was the No Doubt Tragic Kingdom album. That was my childhood. That's a good one. But Kendrick, I was like, I need it. And I sent it to Anthony. But sadly, it won't come till March. Yeah, because it's like pre-ordering right now.
Dang.
I know. Because he dropped out of nowhere. Yeah. I don't think the record labels were ready.
No.
Yeah. But his whole album charted. He has 12 songs on the album. It was top 12 in the Global 100.
Wow.
All of his songs charted.
Wow.
Can you believe that's crazy? Like, don't play me.
This is his year.
This is his year, and I love to see it. We're going to talk about that in the next episode. Like, love to see your friends win. And yes, he's my friend.
Yeah.
I love to see my friends win. I love to see him win. Like, any slander, you're cut. Like, Snoop Dogg, to me, you're cut. Lil Wayne, you're cut. Like, Drake, you been cut. Oh my gosh, I love it. But yeah, so my November has been great. What about y'all? Have you all been listening to GNX? Did you all travel to Cancun? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, throw in your highlight of November in the chat or comments
in the chat. Yeah, the chat.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had a really good November and are ready to dive into December, the last month of 2024.
I know.
So exciting. Really good things coming. And on that note, I will kick us off on today's episode. So for today's episode, I really, really wanted to talk about just emphasizing the words gratitude and reflection. I think this comes at a perfect time because we are at the end of the year. We are truly at our last stretch and then about to start a whole new chapter with 2025 around the corner. And so I thought it would be really fun and good to just kind of conversate about gratitude and what that looks like, what that means, and also reflection and how they play, how they go hand in hand. And, as I was in Cancun, definitely a lot of time of relaxing, a lot of time away from phone. I was not, worried about alarm clocks, going to work, my parents. Like I was truly just like a free little spirit in Cancun, and just my only worries were attending shows that we wanted to go to and, figuring out what we wanted to eat next or what we wanted to do. As I was sitting there at the beach one day, one of the days that I was there, I was at the beach with Angel, and we were, wedding planning, and like I said, just really getting into the little details that we normally, I don't think would have had the time back home. Took some time to really stop, and I looked at him and I was like, we're really getting married. Like, this is really happening. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we are. Like, we are getting married. And then he goes, dang, we got engaged this year. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I've been your fiance since like July. Like, that's crazy. It's about to be 6 months, like a whole half year. So from there, we just like really took the time to think about this year and like everything that we went through. And it's just so beautiful when you really do take the time to reflect and think about, each month, go through like what happened or what are the highs and the lows that happened, and where are you now compared to where you were 2023 or where you were beginning of 2024. And it was just so beautiful to see, like, of course, like I said, our engagement was one of the biggest ones. Like the fact that it actually happened, the fact that it's here, that we're finally like living through it. I know from Angel, like one of his was like his surgery, right? He had back surgery, like spine surgery this year. Like that is insane because it's just not well, it was safe, but it's not like a surgery anyone would want. No one wants surgeries to begin with, but let alone your spine where one little move and you can become paralyzed. So it's like the fact that he went through that and he was now confidently walking like and perfectly fine. And I was thinking about me with my pain. If you guys remember the beginning of the year, like I was really going through it with my sciatic pain and just not even being able to stand for that long. And now being able to work at a cycle studio and take the cycle classes and go to my like boot camp, like it was just such a beautiful time of reflection, of really thinking about everything that I've gone through this year, everything he's gone through, we've gone through, and like where we're at today and where we're heading for 2025. And it was just such a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to share that and really encourage anyone who's listening to truly, truly take the time to just look at a calendar, look at your planners. I'm a planner girl. Marilyn's a planner girl. Like I know I write every little thing in there. Like if we had a double date at a ramen spot, like I will write it like dinner date at ramen, like just so I visually relive those moments and remember those little details. And it's truly such a blessing to see like all the things that we go through in a year and where we end up on towards the end of the year as we enter like a new chapter. And like I said, with that comes gratitude, just really, really remembering like all of your wins and how much of a blessing they are. I even saw a quote on Instagram where it said gratitude is not just saying I'm grateful. Like, yes, that is one thing and then totally okay to say that, but I think another thing also is appreciating what you have in your chapter right now and being grateful for what you have right now, right? Maybe you don't have the full thing that you want, or you're not in the chapter necessarily that you want, but at least you are grateful for the step that you're in right now that will soon lead you to that next step. So just all in all, like I just feel like just having that gratitude, take the time to reflect 2024 and really just set your intentions for 2025 as that approaches within the next couple weeks. This is the perfect time for you guys to get ready for that. Get ready for 2025. It's such an exciting time. I know for me, like I can think of a lot of things that I'm already looking forward to. So really just take the time to push through 2024, push through December, continue to share moments, make memories, reflect, and just prepare yourself for 2025. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode, Marilyn said it best. This is your time of preparation. Like, how do you want to prepare for 2025? And how do you want to enter 2025? So, yeah, that is my little spiel.
Love it. And, Jasmine and I are definitely people of gratitude. We think about it all the time. And that is probably our biggest piece of advice to all of you listening, is just to not just say, I'm thankful, like she said, but really feel it in your soul, because everything we have can be taken away in a second.
Yes.
Our jobs, our love, our people in our lives, our house, anything can be taken in a second. And so it's important to be grateful for it when you have it, not when it's gone. And, I was around somebody for their birthday this past November, and they had so many people around them that loved them so much, and yet they were unhappy, and yet they were, just seeing and saying only the negative, and it just really made me, I didn't, people can spend their birthday how they want to, but when I got into my car, I was kind of a little angry. I was like, really? Like, you're so lucky that you have this person, that you have that you have all of us loving on you and celebrating you, and you're not happy. And I think happiness, of course, starts within, but I think it's also starting with gratitude. Thank you, God, for another year. Thank you that I have my mother here, that I have, my family with me, that I have my friends in my life, because I think a lot of people in my life take their birthday for granted, and they're just like, it's another day, or they're sad about something going on in their lives that in the end of the day, it's gonna be fine tomorrow. It's irrelevant. It's not important. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody gets you upset on your birthday, forget about it. It's your freaking birthday. Worry about it tomorrow. Like, this is the day that you were brought into this earth, that God chose you, like, to this earth, and for you just to crap on it, it's like, doesn't show any gratitude. And so that's what I'm just saying, is like, it's important to have gratitude, because if you don't, you're probably gonna have a miserable life.
And I think also, like, it sounds so silly, but like, pay attention to those little details and moments. It's so beautiful. I was just thinking about another moment of gratitude that I had this month as well, where it sounds so silly, you guys, but I was driving to take my first cycle class at 6 in the morning.
That's early.
Which I usually don't. I do my other workouts at like 6:15, but this one, because it's like cycling, like I have to get there by 5:45 to set up my bike and like to do all that, versus like my boot camp, I just show up. Like, they have all the equipment there ready for me. But anyways, I had to like really like wake up early, and I just remember like walking out feeling so grateful, and like I really was grateful for the little things. Like, I was grateful for like the air, because it was like that fresh, crisp air, and I was all sweating, and it was like, okay, it was like that 6:30 a.m. like air. And then I was like grateful for, I was able to go to like Starbucks, because we have a Starbucks right next to it, and I was able to get my mom coffee, and I was so grateful that I had the chance to have my mom with me, be able to pay for her coffee and pay for my coffee, and be able to surprise her with that. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, those little things, like, be able to stay, like, it's more than just like, I'm grateful for another year of life. Yes, that is the biggest thing, but are you grateful for the people who showed up, the people that
the cake that was made
to spend time with you, the cake that was made for you, the gifts that were given to you,
that were specifically chosen for you, the cards, what were written in the cards.
Yeah, like all those like little details, like, it's truly such like so beautiful and life-changing when you really appreciate them. And the small things.
I heard somebody say online the other day, and I've heard this before, but it reminded me because I seen it like yesterday. It said, when you die, what are people going to say about you? Are they going to say that you were ungrateful, or that you were grateful? They were grateful for everything they had. Could they say that about you? I don't know. Yeah. And it made me think, like, what would people say about me? Yeah. If I passed? Yeah. Because, I think, usually people don't say the negative stuff. They only say the good. But in the realness, when you're behind the scenes and you're talking to people, like, yeah, they're kind of a bitch. They were always grumpy. Always had something bad to say. Like, oh, they never liked me. You know what I mean? Like, what are they saying? And it doesn't matter what people say, but it shows your impact and what you left behind. What did you teach people around you? Did you teach them not to be like you? Did you teach them not to find people like you? Did you teach them how to see toxic people because they see it in you? Or did you teach them love? Did you teach them how to be grateful for what you have, even when you don't have a lot? So I love this message of gratitude. And she was talking about her man. And I was thinking, the other day I was listening to Unsolicited Advice podcast, and I was like showering and stuff. And these girls, great podcast if you want to check it out. These girls are like in their 30s. One of them is in a 3-year relationship. The other one is talking to somebody. But the point is that they were single pretty much throughout their 20s. And so they were giving advice, and it was good advice, to this girl who I forgot what her situation was, but she was saying your 20s is your time to be single, your time to find what you like, what you don't like, and your 30s is when you find your person. And although that's true for them, you know, but I think I was just washing my hair and I was thinking, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful that I found Anthony. Literally right when I turned 20 years old, I found him. So I've known him all my 20s. He was 21 when I met him, but I called him after that episode had finished, and I was telling him about what I'm telling you guys, and I said, I'm so lucky I found you so young, because I don't want to waste any more time not being with you. You know, like I didn't want to meet you in my 30s. I didn't want to have like a bunch of boyfriends. I didn't want to go party, do whatnot with other guys. Like that's not what I wanted. I always was like praying for my prince, and he was telling me he was praying for his wife, and he was like, I want to meet. He was like, that was my biggest goal right when he was like 18. He was like, I want to meet her young. I don't want to meet her when I'm old. And so I think it's so important to be intentional about what you want in your life. Like she said, prepare. I think it's what you want. Thinking about those things that you want in this new year, because if your mind is on it, if your prayers are focused on that, it's coming. It's just wait, because it's coming, and when it comes, you better be ready. Because you know, after I met Anthony, I was like, oh, he's it. I was like, shoot, I need to hurry up with school. I need to buckle down. You know, I need to do all these things, and yeah. So I'm really grateful for being able to be grateful, because a lot of people don't have that mentality.
It's not something that's everyone was taught.
Yeah.
And that knows how to do.
Oh, yeah.
So
here's a perfect example. You have to teach this. It's not just given, you know, in a personality. When I was little, I was extremely spoiled. I was the first granddaughter. I was the first daughter. I was the first everything, because my dad had me so young. So I was spoiled to the point where on my birthday and Christmas, I'd open, and they're separate, not the same. I would open so many presents, I had to take a break. That my arms were tired. No, yeah, like my whole family could tell you. They're like, oh my gosh, she had presents that were filling up the whole room, and it was just for her. So like she was tired that she couldn't even open all of them. She had to take a break, eat something, and come back to it. Like, damn. But imagine growing up like that, being so spoiled. I remember I must have been maybe second grade or something. I was opening up presents. Keep in mind, every year, bank load of presents. It didn't change when I got brothers. I still was overly spoiled. And I opened something. It was a Bratz baby. I don't know if you guys remember those. And I opened it, and I was like, and I put it to the side. And my stepmom said, Mommy, she's like, you need to be grateful if people get you stuff. You can't just put it to the side. And I remember I was like, I felt such shame in that moment. I was like, I didn't know I did something wrong. But it's like, unless you're teaching your kids like that, you have to be grateful, even if it's not something that maybe is your favorite gift. Like, be grateful. Somebody bought that for you, you know, and that moment stands clear in my head of after that, every single gift I was grateful for. Even if like, maybe let's say they got me a Taylor Swift record or something like that. I'll be like, wow, thanks. I don't have this one.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like Taylor Swift, but you have to be grateful because somebody picked that out for you. Like, you can't just be like, I don't like her. You know what I mean? Like, how does it make the other people feel? So, perfect story of like, you have to teach it in your children. You can't just expect them to know.
And I think now as an adult, as we're surrounded by coworkers and friends and people that we meet now, just remembering that, you know, maybe sometimes or like what we're saying, they weren't taught how to be grateful. But I think the biggest way that you can share that and to teach them in a way is to just live through it.
Right.
Live by example and showcase that yourself.
Live by example. So, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
I know.
Very good message, Jasmine. We always talk about gratitude, but I don't think we've ever really got into gratitude and having it and the importance of it. And I hope you guys apply this to your lives. I hope that after listening to this message, you think of like, how can I be more grateful in my life? How can I show the people this upcoming Christmas that I'm grateful for them, not for their presence, but for them as people in my life?
And you really take the time, like I said, for reflection of 2024 and be grateful for that, and then continue to take that on to 2025 and like not just I'll wait till the end of the year to reflect and be grateful. Take that on towards the end of January. Start doing your reflection and your gratitude of that month, and then keep going February, March, etc. So really take some time, and like I said, don't miss out on those little details, because it sounds so silly, but it was so precious and pure, like breathing in that fresh, crisp air, getting the coffee, handing the coffee to my mom, being able to work out that morning, being able to wake up that morning. Like, it was a beautiful moment. And
I love it.
Like a reflection in Cancun, it was just, biggest highlight of November, and a message that I want to share today. So thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. I hope that you guys walk out feeling a little bit refreshed and inspired, and do some reflection and gratitude this December. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wish You Love Pod. Stay tuned for next week's, and above all else, we wish you love. Bye, friends.